Some people think real books are written for adults. Some people think that if you write children's books long enough, eventually you'll grow up as a writer and you'll be able to write an adult's book. I think it might be the other way round. It's a lot easier to write for adults than it is to write for children. Adults will think a book is good, or at least pretend they think a book is good, if the book is seen as clever and necessary to increase your status as an intellectual. Children won't do that. If the story isn't good, children will know. If the story doesn't make them feel good, children will know. If the story isn't true, children will know. That's why I think that it's ever so much harder to write for children than adults. I think a lot of this is because children are very spiritual. They're closer to their soul. They haven't learnt to layer up layers and layers and layers between their soul and truth and God and wonder and imagination. That's why I think writing for children is the biggest honour any writer can have. Because when you have to write for children, you have to enter into their world. You have to remember what it was like to be a child. You have to remember the things that interested you as a child. And when you are writing for children, suddenly things like falling stars and four-leaf clovers and sunlight twinkling on beads of water after a thunderstorm become almost as wondrous as they were when you were 8 years old. And that is why I love writing for children. And that is why, in some ways, I hope I never graduate to writing a proper book. Because when you write for children, you have to write with truth and you have to write with imagination. And actually, I think you have to write something that is, at the very least, bordering on the holy. That is what I think makes a beautiful children's book. And in order to do that, you have to remember what it was like to be a child. And when we remember what it was like to be a child, we find a path in many ways that leads us back to God. And I think that is the best thing of all.